Alright, so recently had a friend tell me how hard it was to get his brand new mountain bike tire seated onto his wheel in the rim there. And I just kind of wanted to make this video to show him that it can be done with minimal effort. Yeah, so first thing I do is just get the tire out. These folded ones look terrible at the beginning here, but I promise it'll work fine. Next thing I do is just get the right tube out, and then I just add a little bit of air to this guy to give it just enough shape that it's a full. Then I'm going to try and get the logo here over top of the valve hole. Now the next thing I'm going to do is make sure it's going the right direction. Should have done that first. But the disc is going to be on this side, which will be the left. So it should be rolling this way. Make sure that's right. Rotation, of course it is. Next thing I want to do is I want to get the disc side rim seated here. That can be a little tricky sometimes. So you can see at the end here, even just getting this one side in, it's a little tricky. Kind of cold in the garage, so this will be a really tricky one to do. And now that rim is inside, so now I'm just going to push it to the outside of the rim. So we got that. The valve hole and the logo are lined up. And this is all pushed back pretty good. Now I'm going to get the tube in. So I like to, this is where it sucks. This is where you're going to see some sweat. So I like to fold it in right at the valve stem, making sure I'm not pinching that tube. This is just going to suck. I promise you it's not. It gets easier. This side one's so hard. Side wall's so stiff. And these rims only. I see it starting to pinch. Keeping a little bit of tension on it so I don't lose the bead. So as I'm doing this, I'm trying to hold the tire down as much as I can. That's gonna suck. So you can see how terrible that looks. It doesn't look like it's gonna work at all. But I promise. How long it takes me is what matters. My hands are actually tired. That's all. So now I'm almost at the point I want to use levers, so I'll get them ready. Once it gets on there far enough, it kind of holds itself. Now this is the hard part. So this is where a lot of people find it almost impossible to get done. I'll show you it's not. So I'm pushing down to try and get down as far as I can, making sure not to pinch. Getting close, getting close. Tubes in there, nice. So this is the point where a lot of people just stress out and never get it. So what I'll do is I'll flip it over and I'll pull it back to get it in. There. It's completely on. Now the tricky part. First thing I'm gonna do is inspect to make sure that the tube hasn't been pinched anywhere in here before I inflate it. I don't feel it, and I don't see it. Well, first thing I'll do is put that little ring around the stem. It's nice so that when I put on the pump, it doesn't push down and possibly pinch and break the tube in there. So I'm just going to inflate it. So it has somewhat of a shape. I'll actually take a break here and inspect it again. If there was tube leaking out the side of this thing, it would probably show up now. So I don't have that. And you would feel a little bulge if it was pinching through. So now what I'm going to do is try and get the tire to seat. And what you'll see on these tires is there's a little line here that's consistent distance from the bead, and that should be showing everywhere. So I'm just going to wiggle it back and forth until it's visible everywhere. Close to. There. So you can see here, it's nice, 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 nice. And then it tucks in here all the way around basically here. So here to here is the only good spot. So what I'll do to get that out is bring it back down to just holding its shape, so like 10 psi. And an extra little trick here to lubricate it up a bit is just to add a little dish soap and water. So I'll shake that up. A little dish soap and water will help kind of lubricate it. Makes it easy to clean too. So I'll get the whole thing. Why not? I'll stand and try and put that soap in there a bit. Back to the valve stem. I know I'm done. You can ride it without it being perfectly seated. It'll probably pop in and you might hear a ping while you're riding. But, so if you're doing this on the side of a trail, you're clearly not going to have dish soap. So it's okay to ride with it that way as long as there's no tube peeking through the side. There you go, so it's overinflated. Give it a little bounce. It's rock hard, I can't do much with it, probably got like 40 psi in it. But I'm just gonna let it sit for a bit and let it work its way out now that it's lubricated. Yeah, so that's it. That's how I get the tire onto the rim. Basically, those are all the steps I take. This time I didn't actually need to use the tire levers, which is always a challenge I like to kind of challenge myself with. But if you did need to use them, just be super careful because those can easily pinch the tube inside of it. And if you're running tubeless, same deal. If you get a flat, you need to put it in a tube. It's the same deal. It's just gonna be messier with all the milk. But that's it.